This is Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to the Voice for Fitness Professionals podcast, where I address the marketing and the sales strategies to make selling more clients, attracting them, keeping them, and ultimately helping them while keeping the life you love easier, not sleazier. So today is a very different podcast than it should have been. A guest of mine who will be on very shortly called in sick. But what I wanted to address later this week was your yearly plan. And here's why. So this is something that right now is top of mind for all of us, I think. And this year, not unlike, all 11 other months, but this one feels like it's zooming past. And all things are taken up every minute, every hour. Time is full. So it's not that we're at a lack for things to do and ways to stay busy, but are we spending our time in the places where it's actually most productive and not just doing something because we know we should be doing it, namely marketing efforts, social media in particular. And we're going to talk more about that toward the end. And I'm going to mention an opportunity coming up this week. So, AKA, expect that I'm going to invite you to attend a webinar before this is all over. And this all is probably going to be less than a 10-minute podcast. And here's why. I'm going to talk about really three things. The three things related to year planning and the black hole that it can be. So all too often, what I see when businesses, fitness centers, are planning their next year, what they're really looking at is quota. They're looking at maybe for a personal trainer increasing revenue. Here's what I want to do. I'm earning this. I want to earn this, in 2018. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that we need a plan in order to get there. So starting out with you, if you're doing it for yourself, it would be revenue. If it's coming from someone else, they're dictating. It may come in the form of a quota. You've got a quota that you've got to meet per this month, per the month of December compared to last December, per January compared to January of 2017, and so on. And usually there's an increase of, say, 5%, maybe the modest goal. I always used to ask for 10 or 15% as we were growing rapidly in kind of, 2006, 2007, even though it was a recession, we experienced tremendous growth because we were really just getting grounded and going and establishing systems. So there's those three sources, and the third of those, right? Quota, revenue, and then sometimes it's just, okay, here's the hours that I want to work, and we're talking about it in that form. Now, some of those three are more strong as far as motivators than the others. So quota, somebody else calling the shots, probably with a you need to do this or somebody else will kind of a method behind it. The revenue maybe because you are the sole provider, either for yourself or for your family. So it carries a little bit more weight with it as well. And then, the hours that you want to work may be so loose that it may not tie to the ultimate goal and reward. And then let's talk about step 2. So those are generally the goals that we set. But the step 2 tends to be how. How are you going to reach those things? How are you going to fill those hours? If that is what you wanted or said you did, how are you going to reach that revenue? Or how are you going to reach that quota? If you're supposed to make more than you did last year, something has to go. You have to grow the number of trainers doing the same amount of sales. You have to increase your rates, or you have to get more customers, which may go hand in hand with more trainers. Or you're going to have to grow a different and new revenue stream, and maybe all of the above. But often we don't stop and actually put into place how are we going to do that. And here's the other thing that I don't see happen a lot, And I've had to get really serious with myself, and it's an eye opener in terms of looking at a spreadsheet of all the products and services that I've sold, which ones are the most popular. Basically, it's listening. What are my customers telling me they want the most? What really reaches them? And it may be that it's better marketing, or it's a better package, or it's shorter, or it's more appealing in some way. And that I have to figure out. That's the puzzle. But looking at the things that are already the most popular and earning you the most money makes sense. So if you're not dedicating a lot of your time marketing and growing and adding new juice to those current programs, why not? Because it takes a whole lot less energy to make something that's already good, great, and throw a little bit more sprinkles on it in order to tend to attract more people to it. So looking at that, and then looking at where do you get the least amount of revenue? What kinds of services are on your docket that are taking up time, space, maybe actually distracting you or trainers on your staff or other people on your staff who are promoting and selling for you, or your customers, from actually getting to the thing that will really help them, the things that are maybe among your most popular kinds of pieces on your menu. You may want to look at getting rid of them. And then 2 more questions that you need to ask. What have you loved doing this year? What kinds of activities do you really look forward to doing? And which ones do you hate? And pardon my French if you're sensitive, but which ones are just really an energy suck? Which ones leave you drained and dreading doing it? Or, so drained that afterward you don't want to even do the things you love. So, I don't know that you want to look at, okay, I have to do this and then I get to do this. If you can eliminate it, if you're in control, and if you look at the things that you hate, and there's a link between that and the things that are the least revenue production, you can easily say, let's just get rid of it. Let's phase that out. Let's blend it into something else that's already more established, more productive. And remember that you don't have to serve all the people all the time. Maybe you're better off actually referring out to somebody else who does it better. But what I really want to talk about is the third leg of this stool, that we often don't get to this either, and it's how are you going to promote those things? So while you're planning your first month and your first quarter and where the revenue is going to come and what programs and services you're going to promote, you have to look at that, the actual promotion, the time that you need to spend and the energy and potentially money if either you're doing it and that's taking time because your time is valuable, or a staff person is doing it. How much time do you have to plan so that you can create the graphics, so you can create anything else that you need in order to promote those biggest sellers, those most popular items, and or do it in a way that frees you up. If you're the creative, if you create new programs and you can see there's a hole or a gap you're not filling, that if you built it, they would come, you need to leave time for that and planning your content, your blogs, your podcasts, your videos, and the way that you'll give them legs with your social media. And here comes the invite. On Saturday, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, I will be delivering a Social 365. It's a system I've created just to simplify social media and the headache that it can be. And if you love to deliver content that's valuable and helpful and really just communicate and connect with your audience, this is the way to do it. So you don't drive yourself crazy with spamming and posting, just putting things up to put things up, but it actually delivers your message in a way that you feel better about, and it attracts more of your ideal customers. So if that interests you, it is a mere $29. And here's the reason. Because if you're not the only one doing your social media, I want you to invite other staff members to come and attend. The more of you that are on the same page and that can share the information back and forth in Google Docs once you've created some of your homework, the faster and the better you will all be at social media in your same organization. And if it's just you, then boom, $29 should be a no-brainer, because if you sell even one personal training package, hopefully you've made at least 5 times that or 10 times that, depending on your rate. And I'm hoping not 10. So I will, below the show notes today, post the link to actually go and get registered. You pay through PayPal. Once you're registered, I will send you the link to the webinar. The webinar is probably going to last about 90 minutes, no more than that. And if I give you more than that, I'll probably overwhelm you. So I will keep it short. You may have questions afterward. We can address those in a what's next if we need it. But otherwise, you'll be out and in and putting your tree up or shopping, whatever you do on a Saturday afternoon. So I look forward to it. Thanks so much. And if you have questions below the show, go ahead and put them there at fitnessmarketingmastery.com. And until next time, keep making a difference.